Suprabatam. Budhavasarah. Today is Wednesday, 24th, Chatvarimshah. 24th of August. It is Sayankalah, Saptavadana Kalah. It is 7 o'clock. Vyakarana Vibhagaha. And we'll be doing the Samasa Vicharaha. Prathamataha Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajavanish Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittila Sada Bhavutame Bhorama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane, Shri Ramanama Varanana Onnama Iti. The Mahasha Sutrani, I N, Rulrak, E Ong, I Ouch, Hayavarat, Lanya, Nyamanga, Nanam, Jabai, Gadadash, Jaba Gadadash, Kapa Chata Chata Tav Kapai Sha Sar Hal Iti Mahasha Sutrani. Today is the 24th of August. Chaturbimshah. Chaturbimshah. Chaturbimshati Tamaha. I think I said Chatvar, that is wrong. Because 24 is Chaturbimshah. Chaturbimshah is 24. While the correct. Chaturbimshah is 24th. Chaturbimshah. Athva Chaturbimshati Tamaha. Okay, so last time I think Indu raised the question. I'll just read it one more time. This sutram, which is 2161, it came up in the discussion last time. Just want to make sure I said the right thing. Sanmahat paramottamotkrishtaha pujyamanaihi. This sutram came up in the question on the example we were doing last time, which was the one when we had the Mahat Pradipadikam. I think this Mahanadi Tire Mahajanaha. So the question is, why do we need this sutram? Need this sutram, which is the San Mahat Paramottamotkrishtaha Pujyamanaihi. And we looked at the Vyakhyanam briefly, and I think it was what we suspected, is that the first reason given for that is so that these can only be compounded, Pujyamanaihi, something which is being respected or being honored or being thought of being large or great at least. But then let's go to the Vyakhyanam here quickly, 2161, because the question is that why cannot we do with the Visheshanam Visheshana Bahulam? That should be enough to form these compounds. So it says Bhavati Pujyamanehi Pujyamana. It was but then we said is that but then how about a compound like Mahapapam? Then they say Mahapapam ityadavatu puja bhavepi Visheshana Samasa Buddhya. So then there are these things like Mahodadhi, like the great ocean, or at least Mahodadhi there is some thing of Pujaman, but in the case of Mahapapam, so Puja Bhavepi Visheshana Samasaha. Then why do we need this sutram? I think this one we can take what Tattavodhini said last time. It says is Sadadina Puranipat Niyamartham Sutram. You can say Maha, you can say Pachakaha, great cook. Now Pachaka is an adjective, so is Mahat. So then they should not be, so much should get the Purnipataha. So finally I think the safe thing to say is that this sutram is required to get the Niyamaha for a Purnipataha. And also most of the time these should be used only Pujyamanehi, but once in a while they may not be, like Mahapapam, Mahodadhi, etc. So that's also the case. But definitely we need the sutram for the Purnipata. In the case where there can be a confusion. Now in our case there's no such confusion because we had Mahanadi. So Nadi is clearly the Nama Shabdaha and Mahat is the Visheshanam. So Atra Projanam Nasti. We don't have any use for this one. There was only when both are adjectives, then only we have this Sandeha of the Purnipata. But here both are not adjectives. Nadi is clearly the noun and Mahat is the adjective. So we didn't really need this this sutram right now in this particular case. So okay. Now finishing the exercise from last time, we are in the last two of the book. We are on page number 131. We are doing the English to Sanskritam, finishing off the last lesson before we go on to the Namadhatavaha. So the second last one, we are Navamaha Prashnaha, ninth question. Faith and devotion are conducive to happiness. So what I put here is that, and let me know if this is okay with you or not. Bhakti Shraddhe Sukhaya Kalpete. Dhatu is Krup. Actually, Dhatu is Kripu in Dhatu Pataha. And this Dhatu is interesting because this Dhatu's Repa takes the Rukara takes the Ru becomes Ru. Kruporolah. So that is, I'll give you the sutram here. So anyway, that's not the topic for today. Okay, it's in 8.2 is sutram. This dhatu is actually kripu in dhatu pataha. Kripu becomes, when you take it to use, it becomes krup. So this is the sutram in 8.2. I think the sutram is, I don't know, it's the Tripadi karim kruporolah. Here it is, 8 to 18. Kruporolah. Look at the dhatu patha. Actually, dhatu is krup. So not krup in the dhatu patha. But Panini says that this ru becomes ru for this dhatu. Of course, using Gita many times, Brahma Hoyaya Kalpate and so on comes in many places. Kripu. Let's see. The dhatu number here is Kripu Samarthya. That's what it is. Kripayam Gataucha. There are some part of Vedas here, but I think the one to be capable, to be fit. I mean, in this case, to be conducive to. That is the meaning. And so even the dhatu is kripu in dhatu patha becomes krip. Then kalpete, you can see let lakaraha. Nothing special here. It is the prathama pushpaharsha dvivachanam, because the subject is bhakti shraddhe dvivachanam. That's why we have the dvivachanam. Of course, as usual, we get the we are doing the daily examples every day now, which is the lat lakaraha. This is the atmanipadi dhatu, and therefore we get the pratyaya ta, and then tita atmanipadanam tere. So sorry, not pratyaya ta. The pratyaya is atam, because dvivachanam atam, and then becomes ate. But 3, 4, 17. I didn't put those steps in this document because we're doing those steps every day in the daily examples. So I haven't put this here. The dhatu is kripu samarthya, and that one is to be capable. It's number 866. Maybe I can show it to you here. Let me see if I can show it to you here. It is number 866 in the Bhvadiganaha 866. Kripu samarthya, to be fit, to be capable. Here it is, Kripu Samarthya, and this one has the Anudatta Swaraha on the Anudatta Swara, on the it letter. So Anudatta Gnita Atmanepadam by 1-3-12. So take only Atmanepadam, and then the sutram which I just showed you, which is the 8-18. This Ru becomes a Ru Adesha. So we get Klip plus Lat, because Atmanepadi Dhatu and the Vivaksha is Pratham Purusha Dvivachanam, we get the Pratyaya. Of course, first before that, Upadesha Nunasika it Halantyam Lakara Vashishyate Anubandha Lope La. Then the Sutram Lasya Tiptaji, we get the Pratyaya Atam. In the meanwhile, we get Tita Atmanipadanam Tere. I've mentioned many times is that the moment we apply Tiptaji, we have to finish the remaining of 3.4 before going anywhere else. So very next sutram, Tita Atmanipadanam Tere, this Atam becomes Ate. Now we get Kartari Shap. Shap plus the Puganta Laghupatascha. Gunaha Uran Raparaha becomes Kalp. Shap plus Ate. And finally we get the sutram Ato Gnitaha, which is this one. This akara pratyaya is a nit pratyaya. That ate pratyaya is nit. because of the Sarvadhatukam apit. 1, 2, 4 Sarvadhatukam apit. So that A becomes Iya. Lopo Vyorvali becomes Ite. Then finally Ad Gunaha between Kalpa and Ite becomes Kalpete. And I didn't put this in the document because, as I mentioned in almost every class, is that please follow these daily examples coming to you every day. So there all the steps have been done, in great detail every day, and we will continue to get this every day. Let's see how long as we can continue. But so this is the backbone of all our classes. Sometimes in the recording we can make a mistake here and there, but these are archived, and so please, whenever you have time, follow. And when there are any mistakes, let us know. So anything we like to do differently, let us know so we can improve this one. So anyway, coming back to Kalpeti one more time, Dhatu is Kripu Samrathye, Latlakaraha, Anubandha Lope, Lasya becomes Atam, Atam becomes Ate, Vatita Atmanipadanam Tere, then Kartari Shab, Shab is the Puganta Lagupatsya Gunaha, Uran Rapaha becomes Kalp, Shab plus Ate, then Ato Nyataha, the Akara becomes Iya, Lopo Vyorvali, we get Ite, so Kalpa plus Ite, Ad Gunaha Kalpete. Kalpete is Pratham Purusha Dvivachanam. Pratham Purusha Dvivachanam. If that was too fast for you, you can look at the daily examples. All the steps will be given there. Now, the other thing is Bhakti Shraddhe. We got the Dvandva Samasa, of course, by Charthe Dvandvaha, Charthe Dvandvaha, Charthe Dvandvaha, 229. But now the question here comes in because of the Nipata, Puru Nipata, Prashna. So who's which one? Because in Charthe Dvandvaha, Anuvritti is coming of Anekam. So our usual technique of Prathama Nidishtam Samasa Upasajanam Purvam will not work here, because the fact that every term in Dvandva Samasa gets the Sanya Upasajanam because of Anekam Anya Padarthe Anekam. So now they're all the same. So that is why Panini has a special rule which we've seen in the previous class. Upasajanam here. Rajatantadishu Param, then this one, Dvandve Ghi, Ajadyadantam, and Alpashtaram. In this case, I think Dvandve Ghi will help. Alpashtaram, both of these have two Ach, Bhakti and Shraddha, so that will help us. Ajadyadantam, we don't have any of them because Bhakti and Shraddha, nothing begins with an Ach over here. But Dvandve Ghi will help us. Dvandve Ghi, Shesho Ghi Sakhi. So Bhakti has the Ghi Sanya. So Bhakti has Ghi Sanya here. So by 2232, by Dvandve Ghi, this Gisanyakam Padam, which is because this Bhakti has the Gisanya, so that Gisanyakam will get the Purnipata become Bhakti Shraddhe. Of course, this is Prathama Dvivachanam Bhakti Shraddhe, Prathama Dvivachanam Bhakti Shraddhe. So here also we can look at the Sutram. I mean, all these rules, I'm not putting them in the document anymore, the Subant Prakaranam, which has been already looked at in great detail. So here we have the Angi Chapaha. So it comes over here because we have the Jasashi Aunga Apaha. Sorry. Aunga Apaha, not Angi Chapa. Aunga Apaha. So this is the Dvivachanam. So we have like Sita, Site, Sita, Aha. So we have Bhakti Shraddha, Paravalingam, Dvandva Tatpurushayoho to become the Silinge, Prathama Dvivachanam. So Bhakti Shraddha plus Pratyaya Au. Then we get we have an Abantamangam to get the Shi Adeshaha. And then of course, in the meanwhile, Dirgha Jasicha, there is no stop the Prathama Purva Savarnaha. He's just practicing all these rules that we know, because we should have had the Prathama Yoho Purva Savarnaha. But Nad Ichi Dirgha Jasicha. So Ichi Jasicha Parataha. So that stops the Prathama Purva Savarnaha. We get Aunga Apaha, get the Shi Adeshaha, and then do Ad Gunaha. Ad Guna become Bhakti Shraddhe. So Aunga Apaha is a sutram. Aunga Apaha, which is, yes sir.
Then it is not Samasa, interestingly, in now, for example, Shraddha Bhakti Samanvita. So that everything.
Oh, Shraddha Bhakti, yeah, all these rules about this Purnipataha,
Yeah,
they're not following the language strictly. They're really not. So yeah, Shraddha. But then what? In that case, Samadhanam has to be done by that sutra, which I think we have seen, which I just mentioned, is the Abhyarhitamcha. So this sutra, which Alpashtaram, has a Vartikam, Abhyarhitamcha. So anything which is, Indu has a question. Let me just, yes, Indu.
No, Satish, I was just saying the same thing, basically. Shraddha Bhakti will still also be an appropriate samasa, is it not?
If you want to go by rules of Panini, because clearly Dvandve Ghi is a sutram, right? So,
right. But Abhyarhitam I thought was...
Abhyarhitam, you can always claim Abhyarhitam. But in Vyakaranam class, I think Abhyarhitam is a little bit outside Vyakaranam. Yes, otherwise correct, because Abhyarhitam, you can always claim Abhyarhitam. Because something which is in the logical sequence, something which is more important, something which just the speaker feels should come first,
Also,
almost.
Shishta Prayoga, isn't that used more often in Shraddha?
Yeah, Shishta, but clearly Panini says Dvandve Ghi. So we have to respect that, at least in this class, you have to respect that sutra, Yes, but you have to also accept the fact that these are not respected in the language all the time at all. So this Alpashtaram, there's a Vartikam here, Abhyarhitancha. Like, our famous one is Mata Pitaro, right? Radha Krishna Abhyan Namaha. All of these are like that, all Abhyarhitancha. Here Abhyarhitancha. So anyway, correct. So this Purnipata Vyavastha is always, not like 100%.
So Satish, in literature, have you seen the form Bhakti Shraddha used many times? Whatever
I think it sounds right to you. I cannot, remember shloka off the top of my head, but it sounds right to me. Bhakti Shraddha, Shraddha, Bhakti Shraddha. Yeah, I think it sounds right, but yeah, other one sounds right too, looking at it. But I cannot recall shloka right now to justify that. But definitely, Vyakaranam-wise, Dvandve Ghi, I think he has to go first. And in our case, in the book, he has already given the sequence, He has given faith and, no, it's the other way around, I'm sorry, right? Faith and devotion, okay. So in this, he has given faith and devotion. So yes, correct. So if you can invoke this one, Abhyarhitamcha, correct. Yeah, the Shishta Prayoga overrides, and we should know these rules of Purnipataha, but they are not like 100% all the time. But since this is Vyakaranam class, we'll go with the Bhakti Shraddha, Dvandve Ghi. So that's this 232. Now the Sukhaya Kalpete, they're conducive to happiness. The Sukhaya, Chaturthi Bhakti, it also is a Vartikam, which we have seen when we did the Karaka Prakaranam. Because the Sutram for getting Chaturthi Vibhakti really is the Chaturthi Sampradane. To remind you one more time that any Vibhakti Vidhanam has to be in Ashtadhyayi 2.3. There's no other Pada of Ashtadhyayi which is Vibhakti Vidhanam as such. So this is which start with Anabhite. In that Chaturthi Vidhayaka Sutram is this one, which is Chaturthi Sampradane, Chaturthi Sampradane, Chaturthi Sampradane, Chaturthi Sampradane, Chaturthi Sampradane. This one, 2, 3, 13. And that is only when Sampradane. But this is not really Sampradane, sir, but there's a Vartikam in a 2, 3. Again, this is not a topic of this lesson at all, but anyway, since now we come to the end of this book now. Just practice some of these things, let's not lose them. So I've always told you many times, almost every sentence will have a Vibhakti Vidhanam. So make it a habit, please. Now we come to the end of this book, so these classes might come to an end, but you can practice. Always look at 2.3 and find a sutram for justify any vibhakti. If you cannot find it, you can always ask or try to fit it somewhere, or keep it as a pending question. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, you have to find one sutram or vartikam maybe in 2.3 to justify every vibhakti, prathama, ditya, all of them. But of course, we know that this 2.3 connects to this 1.4 karake, so we can get the karaka labels there, but doesn't matter. Still, finally, this karake only gives the karaka sanya, like what is kartru, what is karma, what is this and that. But it doesn't assign any vibhaktis at all. When you talk vibhakti, like, Dvitiya, Panchami, Titiya, whatever, that has to be done in 2.3 only. Anyway, that's not today's topic, but that's a very good, and 2.3 is a very short pada, alpa pada, alpa akaraha, so it is only 70, I think 72 or 73 rules, that's all. So it's not that long, and you can really have a lot of fun with this 2.3. 2.3. Okay, so now we have this sutram, this Sukha is Chaturthi. So this 2, 3, 13 is a Vartikam, which specifically means a Dhatu Krup. I mentioned this Vartikam here. Krupi Sampadyamane Chaturthi Vaktavya. Krupi Sampadyamane Chaturthi Vaktavya. So when the Dhatu Krup is used, so that which it is conducive to, which is, that in that one we take Chaturthi. So it says Sukhaya Kalpate. In fact, the example given in Kashika, interesting example is that Mutraya Sampadyate Yavaguhu, Mutraya Kalpate Yavaguhu. So too much of this barley will make you urinate, conducive to urination. Uchchaya Kalpate Yavaguhu. I think you get good pronunciation if you have barley. So the conducive to leads to that. It leads to that. So that is this Vartikam. Krupi Sampadyamani Chaturthi Vaktavya on 2, 3, 13. I want to just give you some flavor of this Vibhakti Vidhana Prakaranam, which we have done, and I hope we have not forgotten. We have to keep in touch with all of these and practice these things. So the Vartikam on 2, 3, 13 is Krupi Sampadyamane Chaturthi Vaktavya. And these things, if you study them, they should click in your head. If you Dhatu Krup, it should click. There is some Vartikam for that. So this is Dhatu Krup. We saw two special things today. We saw first this Sutram, which was the 8 to 18. This Dhatu is actually Krupu Samarthya. When it takes this La Adesha, in this case R becomes R. Second thing, we saw the Vartikam on 2, 3, 13. Krupi Sampadyamane Chaturthi Vaktavya. Chaturthi Vaktavya. Okay. I think that's pretty okay. I think you will be happy with that. Santosha Asti. Astiva Yushmakam. Let me go back to the sentence one more time, which is faith and devotion. So we have Bhakti Shraddha, possibly Shraddha Bhakti also. You do Shraddha Bhakti, you get Pratamayoho Purva Savarnaha. Pratamayoho Purva Savarnaha, which is the because Dirgha Jasicha we stopped in the case of when we did the Bhakti Shraddha, but when we do the Shraddha Bhakti, Pratamayoho Purva Savarnaha will have to be used. Sukhaya Kalpete. The last one, Dashama Prashnaha, is Charama Prashnaha, last one. In the book composed by the teacher, I think he has given the pra-ni as in the vocabulary is given. So to compose, ni is to lead. So pra-ni is to compose. Again, I think we already saw this sutram last time, which is the Natta Vidhayaka Sutram, which is we have also seen the daily examples, which is Upasarga Samadepi Nopadeshasya. Upasarga Samasepi Nopadeshasya. So this dhatu is ni prapane. So in the dhatu patha, first of all we get the no naha, dhatuvadeshassaha, no naha. So this is a no padesha dhatu. All this has been done in the daily examples. I hope you recall some of that. If the dhatu in dhatu patha has the adi murdhanya shakara or murdhanya nakaraha, then prayoge, in usage, it becomes a dantya sakara or dantya nakaraha by this set of two rules. Very, very, very simple rules, very easy to understand. So these simple rules, please understand them, please make them your own. They're good to get some foot in the Ashtadhyayi foothold, some place in the Ashtadhyayi you can be comfortable with. These are the two, Dhattvadeshassaha nonaha. Dhattvadeshassaha nonaha. In fact, the next sutram is Lopovyor, which we used today, Lopovyor Vali. Verapruktasya Anyabhyo Dirga Sutisya Pruktam Hal Ingrasva Sambuddhe. See, all these rules we have done, these set of 5 rules. So, and of course, later on starts the Samhitayam. Anyway, Dhattvadeshassaha nonaha. This dhatu in dhatu part is ning prapane. So, halantyam, the nyakara is in it, and then nonaha becomes ni. And this is a anit dhatu. Because so when we do the nishtha pratyaha by 3, 2, 1 or 2, I didn't put this all in the document, it's kind of straightforward, I thought. So pranite, I'm talking about this word pranite. So the pratyaya is nishtha, taktavatu nishtha. So 3, 2, 1 or 2 prescribes this nishtha pratyaha in the sense of bhute, the bhute adhikara which starts from 3 to 84. And Taktavatu defines what is Nishtha, Taktavatu Nishtha. Because we're talking about passive usage, we get the Tayoreva Krityakta Kalarthaha. Any Krit Pratyaha by default goes in the Kartari, by kartari krit, but then we have tayoreva krityakta khanarthaha. Since we have composed by the teacher, composed, this is the composed, this is not the composer, the book is composed. So you want to use the pratyakta, which is tayoreva bhavakarmanoho eva pratyakta khanarthaha. So even though tattavatu both are nishtha, in this case we're talking the passive pratyakta is to be used. Now, anytime you have anubandha lope ta because of the shakvatadhyate, the moment you have pratyaya which is sanya of ardhadhatukam, which is valadi, immediately think of ardhadhatukasya valadehe. Ardhadhatukasya valadehe. So here, but then the main nisheda sutram for that is ekacha upadesha anudatat. So this dhatu ning prapane is a anudat upadesha dhatu. So it's going to in nishedha. So we get pra ni ta, and then comes this sutram, which is the Nitya Vidhayaka Sutram, which is I think 8.4.14. Upasargada samasepi no padeshasya. Upasarga sthan nimittat. Nimittam is in the upasarga pra, and then asamasepi no padeshasya. So samasepi asamasepi no padeshasya. So we get the nattam. In all of these rules, remember you have to still check the yatkupvaning vavayapi. That always holds. You always have to check the the intervening letters. So Vyavadhanam, we have to check that. But here nothing is intervening, only the akara is between there, so it is fine. It's an atta. So 8.4.14. So as far as this samasa is straightforward, Katyakrane Krita Bahulam. Katyakrane Krita Bahulam, which is the Titiya Samasaha. So Guruna Pranite. Guruna Pranite is 2.132, I can put in maybe Guruna Pranite, so which is composed by the, presented by the, composed by the teacher. That was the first samasaha, and then after that we got granthe pustake, whatever granthe. So this is an adjective for that. Paraval lingam dvandatat purushayoho. This is an adjective itself is qualifying grantha. So it's going to be, this is saptami ekvachanam pullinge. So Guru Pranite Granthe. Then I put the next compound coming here is there are many fine stanzas. Many fine stanzas. So we put Shlokaha. So fine I put Shobhanaha, Sundaraha, what you can say like that. I put Shobhana. So I put many, I put, this is a Karmadharya compound. Vishesham Visheshana Bahulam. Clearly stanzas is the noun. There's the Vishesha. Vishesham, and this is Visheshanam is fine, so Shobhana Shlokaha. Then many I put Aneka. If you want to make it Aneka, then many means Aneka really means not one. That's the ninth Purushaha. Na eka iti aneka. So na eka iti aneka. So there also Aneka means you remember these two rules, which is the, since this lesson is coming to an end, na lopo nanyaha. No lopo nanyaha. Tasma nulachi. Tasma nulachi. If you want to make the compound aneka. Also, and then finally you can make it a Karmadharya compound. So this aneka shobhana shlokaha tatva bahu shobhana shlokaha. So I made the whole thing into a compound. So if you want, I can put the notes over here. This is, I don't think we need them, but anyway, Vishesham Visheshana Bahulam. And if you're using Aneka, then we also have to use the Sutram Nai, followed by Tas Na Lopo Nayaha Tasma Nulachi. And then, so I make it like this. Guru Pranite Grante Aneka Shobhana Shlokaha Vartante Vartante Vritu Vartane. Add the pratyaya shab, jontaha, and all the usual steps before jontaha. You get tita apane padanam tere, and then shab comes in there. Ugantala gupasasya gunaha uran raparaha. We can become vartante, then atogune. I know I'm going too fast, but again, all this has been done in daily examples many times. So dhatu vritu vartane, latlakara anubandha lope la. Lasya tiptaji, the vivaksha is Pratham Purusha Bhuvachanam, because the karta is the kartaraha is the shlokaha. So we get the pratyaya ja, then ja becomes j, vachita apne padanam tere, because the lat lakara is tit, ta as an it. So 3, 4, 79. always finish 3-4 before going anywhere else. So becomes J, then Jwantaha becomes Ante, Kartari Shap, Uganta Lagupasische Gunaha, Uran Rapaha Varta Ante, then Atogune Vartante. So Guru Pranite Granthe, Aneka Shobhan Shlokaha Vartante, Sandhikaryam. Only thing here you'll have the Hali Sarve Sham, Hali Sarve Sham. So that also been in daily examples many times. Hali Sarve Sham. Misasaju Shoruho, then Bho Bhago Ago Apurvasya Yoshi, Hali Sarve Sham. Okay, I think we're okay with that. Guru Rachite, I put Guru Pranita, I'm sorry, I put Rachite here. Let me change that because this is given, Pranita has been given us in the vocabulary, so I put that one. Guru Pranita. Okay, that ends the lesson number 22. So lesson 23 which we are going on to, now we are on page, the same page, we are on page number 131. So Namadhatavaha. This is not really a Samasa Prakaranam. We're jumping to the Tinganta Prakaranam again. Namadhatavaha. Namadhatavaha. So there is, he makes the connection between Namadhatu and Gati Samasa, but this is exactly different. Gati Samasa is different, Namadhatu is different, because this is coming in the section of this one over here. Sanadyanta Dhatavaha. Sanadyanta Dhatavaha. Derived Dhatus. Derived Dhatus. We start with 315. We did it a few classes ago. In great detail, we did the Sananta Prakriya. We use the sutram a lot, dhatoha karmanaha, saman kritika chaya va. It's continuing from there, supatmanaha. So from here starts namadhatavaha. So this is not really a part of the, until it goes up to here. In fact, this one also we did. The dhato reka chohaladehe kriya samubhihare yang. So between the san pratyaha and the yang pratyaha comes this namadhatu prakriya. Namadhatu, because of this sutram supaha. Supaha atmanaha kyach. So supaha nvriti. So these are pratipadikani, which is given, is added, some pratyaya is being added to a sup or directly to a pratipadikam in some cases, and we're getting a dhatu from that. Because all of these, by finally sanadyanta dhatavaha, you get a dhatu san. If you're starting from a sup or a pratipadikam or sup, ending up with a dhatu. It's called like denominatives, like in English, say he's clowning around, clowning. So clowning is a denominative. You start with, so this become like a full circle, we take a dhatu, we did add some maybe krit pratyaya, something to come up with the pratipadikam. The pratipadikam, we add another pratyaya, have to come back to a dhatu now. It's like going a full circle from dhatu to dhatu again. So this is not really a samas, this is not samasa at all, because, because as far as Panini is concerned, samasas only come over here. So only start from here. Prakararas samasaha. This is not samasa vicharaha. This is really a what we call derived dhatu, sadhita dhatavaha, sanadyanta dhatavaha, as Panini says. So between these two sutras which we have done, which is the san pratyaha, which we studied in great detail, dhatoha karmanaha saman kritikadi chayam va, between that and this pratyayang, frequentative, dhato reka chohala re kriya samubhihare yang. See this dhato on both sides over here. There is a dhato over here, and then another dhato on 3122. In the between there, this is this supaha. So this supaha is coming here. So this is the section for namadhatavaha from 318 to 3121. Of course, in the class we will not be doing all of these rules, but at least you should know where the section is coming. Then we need to do some angakaryam, etc. But basically, the first, if you want to look at any namadhatu, you should look at from 318 to 3121. Okay, let's follow from the book. Let's get our feet wet. Let's see what we have and explore what he says. So nominal stems can be transformed. That means pratipadikani. Technically, most of them are supaha. So if we have to have a subbandham, can be transformed into verbal bases by the addition of specific suffixes, which is what we're just going to see now. They are the following. The main one is the following. It says pratyakyach. So suffix usually conveys the idea of a personal desire of the subject. The resulting verb is conjugated in the parasmapada. Now remember one more thing, the parasmapada atmanipada vyavastha, which is being given in the daily examples every day, is the default sutram here is the default sutram is sheshat Kartari Parasmaipadam. So Sheshat is remainder. This section is Sheshat Kartari Parasmaipadam. You must be seeing this almost every day. Is that unless there is any nimittam, any chinnam, any lingam for Atmanepadam, every dhatu will be given, will take only Parasmaipadam. Take Parasmaipadam. Now these derived dhatus are not in dhatu partha at all. So they will all default to Parasmaipadam. They will all take only Parasmaipadam because Sanadyanta Dhatavaha. They are, so unless something is put in the Pratyaya to give us an indication, we're going to see something today. The Pratyaya might be Kyang. Pratyaya Kyang is added, no, that becomes, that can take Atmanepadam, will take only Atmanepadam because of the Anudattagnyata Atmanepadam. Or Panini has specific rules where some of the Sanadyanta Dhatavaha will take specific, and we have seen those. Specifically, we also saw two of those. One of them is this Nichascha. So as a general rule, Nijjanta Dhatu becomes Ubhayapadi. And then we also saw that this one, which is the Puravatsanaha. Puravatsanaha. So the Sananta Dhatu will take the same Pada as the Shuddha Dhatu from which it came. So these are special rules. Puravatsanaha we have seen. With Sananta Dhatu, it will take the same Atmanepadam or Parasmapadam, whatever the Shuddha Dhatu had. Nichascha we have seen. Of course, Nichascha also has special rules below that. So this all gets more complicated down here below. We saw these also. Anyway, as right now, Sheshat Kartari Parasmapadam. If nothing else applies, then Parasmapadam. So that is what's coming over here. Sheshat Kartari Parasmapadam. Sheshat. So this entire section from, this is also a section of Ashtadhyayi which you should make your own. Is when to decide when to use Atmanepadam, when to use Parasmapadam. You have to point to a sutram in this section from 1.3.12, which is Anudattagnyata Atmanepadam, Apada Samaptehe, up to the end of 1.3. There must be some sutram which will tell you when to use Atmanepadam, when to use Parasmapadam. And there the pivotal sutram is Sheshat Kartari Parasmapadam. Sheshat Kartari Parasmapadam. Okay, so here that's why it says that it takes Parasmapadam because there is no nimittam for Atmanepadam. Now, let's look at the sutram here, which is 318. Anuvritti of this comes down to 317, which we just referred to right now. Anuvritti comes down from there. So dhatoho, so this karmanaha, ichchayam va. This dhatoho is no longer coming, but this is coming is karmanaha, ichchayam va. So this is optional. This pakshe vakyam api. You can also have a vakyam pakshe. Ichchayam. The sense of when you desire something, someone desires something. Then karmanaha, it should be the object of desiring. Whatever the object of desiring is, that will take this pratyaha to form this namadhatu. Namadhatu, basically you have a compact form to express that sentence. Anuvritti of karmanaha, ichchayam va, is coming from this prasutram dhatoha karmanaha samana kritika ichchayam va. And now we have supaha. So it should be a subbantam. So that is the karma, the object of desiring. So whatever that is, it will be the dvitiyantam. Atmanaha kyachya. Atmanaha means he desires something for himself, not for anybody else. Atmanaha. Vritti goes like this. Vritti sutram goes like this. Ishikarmanaha, which means that it should be a the object of the verb to desire. Ishi karmanaha. Ishi is this dhatu. Ichchayam. I think it's ishu ichchayam. So this should be object of desiring something. That's the first condition. And then it should be the it says ishu ichchayam in dhatu patha. So but this ishi is used because of this vartikam. Ikshapo dhatu nirdeshe. Ikshipao. So when you want to refer to a dhatu, you can use a pratyaya ik. This has been covered in daily examples. This is a vartikam. So ishi, like when Panini says adiprabhudibhya shapaha, adi, ishi, these are all, this e has been used to make dhatu nirdesha, to refer to the dhatu ish. So following a object of desire, eshituhu sambandhinaha. Desire should be related to the one who's desiring, not for somebody else. He desires something for himself. Eshituhu karma sambandhinaha. So this is eshitru. The desirer is eshitru. add the pratyaya trich to ish becomes eshitra, the desirer. So connected with the desirer. So whoever is his desiring, so this desire is for himself. Subantat ichchayamarte kyas pratyo vasyat vispakshe vakyam api. So just a quick example is, first of all, is pratyaya kyach. Why do we have these it letters? Because lashakvatadyate halantyam anubandhalope ya. This ya is the yakara with the yakara. So ya is the pratyaya. Now there is a sutra which you're going to see today, which is the, let's look at it for 1 second, because to explain why we need the anubandha ka and anubandha cha, we have to look at this sutra which we'll be using later on today, which is the nashke. Nashke. Now I hope by this time you have in the Ashtadhyayi many friends in many places. In fact, here we have two very good friends over here. Suptingantam padam, Bahuvaram adhitam, Bahuvaram prayuktam asmabhihi. And then we also have down here Swadishvasaranamastane, Yachibham, Taso Matvarthe. So once we know which area, now hope you if you land into any territory of the Ashtadhyayi, you don't feel lost anymore. So you can look around and within some distance you can find something you recognize. You have some bearings in the place, you have some bearings, somewhere to land in that place safely. So here we have Suptingantam Padam. Anuji, the question, I'm sorry. Yes, Anuji.
Yeah, no, that was a long time ago. I'll skip it for now.
You sure you want to go? Because I forgot my thing was not properly expanded.
No, that's okay. I will continue
sure?
with the lesson. Yeah, yes.
Go ahead. What was the question? I'm curious to know. What is
No, that was in the homework.
Okay.
I was going to ask you whether we can put Bahu Sushlokaha Santi.
Yes, in fact that's a good one. Yes, in fact, you know what? Let's do that because we did in the. I'm thank you. I'm glad you mentioned that because we did in this. No, definitely we should do that because so Shobhana Shlokaha. Let me change that because we did Kugatip Pradaya. Kugatip Pradaya. Yeah, no, definitely we should do that. Definitely we should do that. Yes, I'm glad. I knew you had a good question. So, okay, let me change that because Kugatip Pradaya. Let's look. I mean, this is also fine. We're using the Karmadhara compound, but let's just use the Kugatip Pradaya because that's the topic of this lesson. Let me change this to Sushlokaha. Sushlokaha. Just definitely we want to do that because Kugatip Pradaya. So this Pradis can be compound directly. In fact, we did when we did this, when we went back, see if you can quickly go back to that. When we started this, the very first example we gave was this one. The first example we gave, we did Kugatip Pradaya. Let me see. Kugatip Pradaya. Let's see. Okay, here, yeah, Pradis, okay. Yeah, I think we're in the very beginning, we get an example. In the very beginning, yeah. Here it is, Supurushaha, Shobhana Purusha. In the very beginning, we had that. Shobhana, yeah, very good, thank you. Shobhana Purushaha, Supurushaha. Yes, we definitely want to use that. So let's go down there. I forgot about that. I just went to the usual Karmadhara route. This will be a Tatpurusha compound. It will not be. It will be Pradi Samasa. Pradi Samasa. Let me come down here and put that here. Yes, that is very useful. Okay. Sorry, I have to have a quick way of this. So these notes are getting too big now. I have to find a way to scroll around them. Okay. All right. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Here. So let's change this to Bahu Asma Aneka Sushlokaha. I'll be changed. I'll put this here itself. Sushlokaha. Okay, thank you. Vartante. Yes, definitely a good point. This should be, I'll put the number here. So we have to use 2218 Kugatip Pradaya. Shobhana Shlokaha. Sushlokaha. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't have my thing properly. I didn't see your hand before, so I didn't do it. Okay. So Sushlokaha is the Pradisamasaha. Shobhana Shlokaha, Sushlokaha. Now, okay, so Supapanaha Kyach. So now the question is, why do we have the Kakaras and It by the Lashakvatite? Why do we have Chakaras and It by Halantyam? this question, because the prayojanam nasti, spashtam prayojanam nasti, there's no clear use of that in this situation. Because remember one thing, by the way, if you're thinking of kiniticha, this kiniticha is a nishedha for the guna adesha. But here let me go back to here for 1 second. If you're thinking of kiniticha, that maybe this kakar anubandha is to stop any guna adesha, etc. But you have to be careful. That is not the case, because kiniticha stops mostly guna adesha, which is done for a dhatu, because of sarvadhatuka, ardhadhatuka yoho. Yeah, I should mention one thing, by the way. Yes, I should mention that is that these pratyahas, they do not get the sanya of either sarvadhatukam or ardhadhatukam, because they are not dhato iti vihitaha nasanti, because they don't come after dhatu. In fact, that's the reason why some people think, why did Panini have to say sarvadhatuka, ardhadhatuka yoho? Why not just say pratyaya parataha? Because both are included in this, right? That's not the case. Because the fact that, first of all, we have many tadita pratyaya also, coming later on. So, the swadayaha. But even here, in the third chapter itself, we have this set of pratyayas which are not dhatoho iti vihitaha. As I just mentioned right now, is between this 317, which is the dhatoha karmanaha samadhkritkadichayama. There's a dhatoho here in 317, and then 3122 is dhatoho. But these in between, which are called denominatives, these namadhatavaha, those pratyaha, they are not dhatoho iti vihitaha. There's no question of applying sarvadhatuka ardhatuka yoho or puganta lagupatasya cha. Well, it doesn't come here at all. So this kakara could not be for kiniticha. It cannot be for that. It cannot be for that. Even if you think of samprasaranam, etc., this only come after dhatus. Then why do you have kakaras in it? The reason given is like this, that if you look at this sutram, and we're now going back to nashkye, which you're going to see later on today, because sutram nashkye is coming today. This sutram says that this supting antam padam. Supting antam padam is true, but this is a niyama sutram for supting antam padam. Let's look at this one before we go ahead. Let's look at 1.4.15. 1.4.15 very briefly. Again, this is right now only to understand why the kakara and chakara is an it in the pratyaya kyacha. That's what we are doing right now. Okay, so 1.4.15, it says that kyachi kyangi cha nantam eva padam nanyat. When the pratyaya kya follows, kya. Now we want the kya to include the kyach and the kyang both. This kyang is going to come later on today. Nantam eva padam nanyat. So this is the normally supting antam padam. Anything with subantam tingantam will be a padam. So, and of course remember pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam. So if you add the pratyaya in this case, for example, right now we're going to add the pratyaya we're going to do putra plus kyach. You're going to get pratyaya lope, this supo dhatu pradvitikayoho, and then we're going to get, we'll go to this in a moment. We'll go through these details, and this will get the padasanyava supting antam padam pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam. But niyama sutram says that kyachi kyangi cha nantam eva padam nanyat. Padasanya reserved only if you have a nakarantam. Now, so sutram says nashkye. Now we want the kya to include both the kyach and the kyang. The kyang pratyaya we'll see later. If this pratyaya Panini only made ya anubandha rahitaha, then we will not include in the sutram nashkye. We could not include the pratyaya kyach in there. We could not, because pratyaya only kyang would be had, because kya, because you say this is the ya pratyaya with the kaz and it. So now we have to add kaz and it to kyach also, in order to make it qualified to be included in 1.4.15. But now comes one more problem. If you made the pratyaya just kya without the chakars and it, then this paribhasha comes into play, which says that ekanubandha grahane na dvyanubandhakasya. Basically, it's a perfect match. If there's a pratyaya called kya, just kya, and if Panini says nashkye, only kya, then the exact match kya only will be taken, not the pratyaya kyang or kyash anything else, because the kya is available as an exact match for the kya. Only that will come in now, not the kyach, not the kyang or anything else. So in order to make this also E dvyanubandha, we added the anubandha cha. So now kyach and kyang on the same footing now. They both have kers in it. They both have another it. See, in the pratyaya kyang we need the ngers in it to make atmanepadam. That is unavoidable. The pratyaya kyang, which you're going to see later, the pratyaya kyang we see later today or maybe next class. We need the ngers in it in that one to make the apply 1, 3, 12. Anudata gnita atmanepadam. That we need over there. But here, if we just said kya, then in Sutram Nashke, only this kya would have been included. Because we have an exact match, kya to kya. So to avoid the exact match, to make this also a dvyanubandha, add the anubandha cha. So one more time, we basically want this pratyaya, which is anubandha lope only here, to be included in the Sutram Nashke. We want to make sure that we have the Sutram available to be used with this pratyaya. So we add anubandha ka, so that kyang and kyach will both come in there. But if you just made it kya, then by this paribhasha only kya would qualify in the Sutram Nashke. The kyang would be left out of it now. Because ekanubandha grahane na dvyanubandhakasya. So when you have something which is only single anubandha, and then we don't take the one which have two anubandhas which have a partial match, we don't take them. So in order to avoid this one from coming into play and ruling out the kyang, we make this one also a dvyanubandha. Have two anubandhas, make it kyach. So that's, otherwise there's no real use for this chas and it and kers and it. It's only a device that Panini uses to make sure that both kyang and kyach come in the Sutram Nashke. So that is the reason. So this is to avoid the exact match, to make it dvyanubandha on the same footing as kyang. We made like that. So now the Vigraha Vakyam is, and this whole thing is va. Krispatto vasya means Pakshe Vakyam api. So we get putraha atmanaha putram ichchati putriyati. Atmanaha putram, because pratyaya only comes when this is atmanaha, when it only desires something for himself. Eshitus sambandhinaha. So following something which is desired for himself. So atmanaha putram ichchati putriyati. I must be very honest with you, I have not seen this pratyaya being used very much in literature. I will have a hard time giving an example of this. But anyway, this is the number one given in the Ashtadhyayi order. Ashtadhyayi Nukramena, it is the Pratama, first pratyaya, but I don't really see it being used that much at all. I have not seen it being used much in literature. But anyway, so this is the pratyaya kyach. The prakriya now is kind of straightforward because this entire thing gets the dhatu sanya, sanadyanta dhatavaha. Just when we add the pratyaya san or the young or the nich, all that. In fact, we had these sutram in the daily examples. We've already seen two of these in the daily example. We have seen the gupu, dhupa, vichi, pani, panibhya, ayaha. So gopaya, when we did dhatu. And then we also saw this one, kamer ning. Kamed ning we have seen. So these two we have seen in daily example. We have seen these two so far. Gupu, dhupa, vichi, pani, panibhya, ayaha. And then kamed ning. And of course in this class we have seen the nijjanta in great detail, nich, which is this one, 3, 1, 25, 26 we have seen the pratyaya young, we have seen frequentative, seen the pratyaya son we have seen. But now we're seeing these others, namadhatava. So they're coming this, so you have to know which region we are in right now. Sanadyanta dhatavaha. You get this is samudayaha. Putra am kyach, it's dhatu sanya sanadyanta dhatavaha. Then supo dhatu pratipadikayoho. Normally we use sutram because we are in the pratipadikam. Remember, we've been using sutram all along in this lesson and prior lessons. When we did samasa vibhage, we have been using the sutram because we had a pratipadikam. So that time we had the samasascha. The samasas had pratipadika sanyas. We're everywhere using supo dhatu pratipadika yoho all the time because pratipadika sanya was there. Now the same sutram we're using because we have dhatu sanya now. So this putra am kyach has dhatu sanya. So remember, we're using sutram because of the dhatu sanya, not because of pratipadika sanya. So be careful. When we did like Raja Purusha, Rajnya Purusha, Raja Purusha, Rajan plus Nyas plus Purusha plus Su, that entire samudaya got the sanya of pratipadikam. This is samasascha. And we use supo dhatu pratika yoho to remove the supratyaya in between there. But now we're getting the dhatu sanya by Sanadyanta Dhatava, the same sutram, Supo Dhatu Pradipikayoho, because within a Dhatu Pradipikam, I mean a sup cannot stay. Within a Dhatu, sup pratyaya cannot stay. So this takes the look. The pratyaya is gone. And then pratyas luk shlu lupaha, the entire thing will go pratyas luk shlu lupaha. When luk shlu lup is done, the entire pratyayasya, so sampurnasya pratyayasya luk syat. Alontyasya doesn't come here. When luk shlu lup, when we do, we don't have alontyasya. The entire pratyaya is removed. So we get putra plus anubandha lope ya lashakwatadite alantyam. Now at this point we would have had the following sutram. We have had a sutram 7.4.25 would have applied. And this we have seen a daily example which we use a lot in the passive, like stuyate, like chiyate. All these, when we use a pratyaya yak, we've seen in daily examples. I keep saying daily example because I hope all of you are following those. We have seen this sutram, which is, now what's happening is that we are recalling a lot of rules which we have already seen. So these are not so foreign to us anymore, I hope. So that will be, give us some more confidence. So akrut sarvadhatikayoho dirghaha. Akrut sarvadhatikayoho, that sutram would have applied, because we do have this yakara here, which doesn't have the krit sanya, doesn't have the sarvadhatika sanya, because remember, they're all those only for dhatoho, dhatoho. Because adhikara of the thing starts from 3192. That is not, this is outside of that. And as I said, the sanya of sarvadhatukam, ting, shit, sarvadhatukam is only dhatu it vihitasya. Anyway, that's only ting and shit anyway, but dhatu it vihitasya. So this yakara, this pratyaya ya, pratyaya kyach, it doesn't have the sanya of krit, doesn't have sanya of sarvadhatukam. So akrit sarvadhatukayoho dirghaha. Ajantasyangasya dirgasyat. So if we have yakarado pratyaya pare, natu krit sarvadhatukayoho. So in fact we have this sutram coming today itself. So if you look down here, we would have had this is ajantangasya dirgho yadav pratyaye natu krit sarvadhatukayoho. So the vrittis are very fantastic, by the way. They are a lot of fun to kind of memorize and have fun with, So the vrittis are very, very important. In fact, my teacher used to always tell me, memorize the vrittis, Satish, memorize the vrittis. Because they in fact convert the sutram to a vakyam for you. They take the entire vritti, everything, and all the vichara, everything goes in there, and you get a nice vakyam for a sutram. So it specifies everything clearly. So please, and these vrittis are composed with enormous care, you cannot imagine, you just cannot imagine how much thought goes into these vrittis. So please pay attention to vritti. Any sutram is immediately, we cannot do in the class all the time, but any sutram you want to use, you want to think about, immediately look at the vritti. Repeat it 3, 4, 5, 10 times and see if you can understand the meaning. It's very straightforward. In this case, ajantangasya dirgho. Anga meaning ending in a acha. Yadav pratyaye pare. Pratyaya following is yakara. Natu krit sarvadhatukayoho. But not if the pratyaya is a krit pratyaya or sarvadhatuka pratyaya. In this case, the pratyaya kyach is neither, because adhikara of krit the thing, which you also see in daily examples many times, starts from 3192. Sorry, 3193, krit the thing, 3193. And then the sanya of ting, shit, sarvadhatu is only for ting and shit, and that's only dhatu it vihitasya. So now this sutram would have applied to do a dirgha adesha. But there is a vishesha sutram, there is a vishesha vidhanam here, which is this one, which is kyachicha. Kyachicha, avarnasya i. So the avarnantasyangasya ikaradesha bhavati kyachiparataha. This special sutram. In fact, we're going to use this sutram in the next part of the lesson. We're going to use this sutram, which is the asyachva. We're going to use that like spashti karoti, shukli karoti. So all these are going to use asyachva, but this is going to come in the lesson again later on. Asyachva is going to come. Asyachva. Anuvritti of e is coming from here. So we get the kyachicha. So asya anuvritti of asya is coming. Anuvritti of e from 7.4.31. Anuvritti of asya from 7.4.32. So we get the avarnantasya angasya ikaradesha bhavati kyachiparataha. kyachi parataha. So this is a specific sutram, because this sutram akrit sarvathaka is for any yakadi pratyaya. Ending in and the angam ends in an ach. This specifically with kyachi. Only pratyaya kyach follows. And only if the angam is avarnantam angam. Avarnantam angam. So all the conditions, always check all the conditions. Check all the conditions. So avarnasya e. E. So when you had putra plus ya, we do have a avarnantam angam, in this case akarantam angam. Pratyaya is kyach anubandhalopeya. So we do the ikaradesha alontyasya. Alontyasya ikaradesha becomes putriya. So this is a new dhatu, vasanadyanta dhatavaha. Sanadyanta dhatavaha. The rest of it is used as pratyaya. Let's see. Most of these times, these dhatus are not really used with all the lakaras. Mostly only lat is used to keep it simple. Here pratyaya lat, vartamane lat, anubandha lope, la, upadesha arjuna nasika et halantyam. Then if because of sheshat karti parasya padam, use parasya padam, then we just talked about that. And pratyaya, if the vivaksha is pratham purusha ekvachanam, pratyaya is tib, anubandha lope, ti halantyam, then kartari shap. These should be all very automatic for us. Kartari shap. Remember, shap is only overruled when you have a dhatu in the dhatu partha belonging to some other gana. Because kartari shap is default for all dhatus. It's not that the vadigana takes shap and other ganas take. Not like that. Shap is ussarga. Utsargikaha pratyaya. It's a utsarga for all. It's a utsargikaha pratyaya means it is a default pratyaya for all dhatus. So the derived dhatus will take only shap. There will not be anything else, because unless something specifically is mentioned, shap only will come for this. Very easy. So all the derived dhatus, whether they are namadhatavaha or sananta or nijjanta or yanganta, so the shap only comes. So you get putriya plus shap plus ti anubandha lopeya lashapataditi halantyam, and then we get atogune, putriya atogune, and become putriyati. So atmanaha putram ichchati putriyati. This is the first sutram. Again, the sutram, remember this comes right after anantaram sutram, right after the sutram, which is dhatoho karmanaha samanakritika ichchayam va anuvritti of karmanaha ichchayam, and va is coming down supa atmanaha kyacha. That's what's given in the book over here. The book we are right now in this part says the and a is changed to e. So this sutram again is pratyaya kyach is not very common, not very common. So what I would suggest is that you make the connection with this dhatoha karmanaha samanakritika ichchayam va, because this is a sutram which you use many times. Like in Gita, I think very first shloka, right? Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha, right? The very first line of Gita, Yutsavaha, Yuddhum Michavaha. So this is I don't think this is in Gita. I'm not sure. I don't think this is in the Gita at all. This is in Gita in a lot of places. You have this in Gita 317, the Pratyaya Sun. So I'm saying that this one is hard to remember this sutra, but think of it immediately after this dhato karmanaha samanakritika ichchayam va. Okay, make the with ichchayam connection, make with this one. And then even the sutram, which is the kyachicha, will not be used that many times, because I said the kyach is not very common, but this asyachvav is used. So make the connection with asyachvav, kyachicha. Make some connection. You have to make some connection so you can remember these rules. So asyachvav will be used, like spashtikaranam, so that is used. So then kyachicha comes after that. That's why in the book we have point number 1 over here. The final avarna is changed to ikara by kyachicha. Atmanaha, you should make it atmanaha, by the way. Put atmanaha. We say rajnyaha putram ichchati, will not get kyacha. Tatra vakyameva. There's no compact form for that. For rajnyaha putram ichchati, someone wants the king to have a son. So then in that case there is no pratyaya kyach. So put here atmanaha. Atmanaha putram ichchati. Now this one we just in fact saw this, the e and the u is the sutram 7.4.25 akrit sarvadhatakayoho dirgaha. Sajantasyangasya dirgasyat yadav pratyaya pare natu krit sarvadhatakayoho. So patimichchati patiyati. Someone wants a husband. So patiyati, patimichchati patiyati. So that's the same way, nothing really special besides that. Oh, by the way, just one more thing is that, just another example quickly, which is not in the book, but Atmanaha, Atmano Malam Ichchati Maliyati. It's not only because, remember this sutram, which is Kyachicha, is Avarnantasyangasya, Avarnasya Ihi. So not only the Rasya Akara, but also Dirgha Akara, Akarantasyangasya Pi Ikaradesha Bhavati Kyachiparataha. So not only the Rasya Akara, but Dirgha Akara also we have also get this. So Malam Ichchati becomes Maliyati. So that Akara of Mala will become Mali. So Maliya in Dhatu. Because I took the example one, which is this is long ending Malam Maliyati. I've also put a note over here is that most of the time only Lat is used with Namadhatavaha. Anyway, they're not that very common. So now the sutram which we just saw, Akrit Sarvadhatikayoho Dirgaha, Ajantangasi Dirgahoti Yado Pratyaya Parataha, Natu Krit Sarvadhatikayoho. So the ending vowel is elongated when followed by pratyaya, which is between the yakaraha, as long as the pratyaya neither krit sanya or sarvatika sanya, which catches neither one of them. But when Panini says dirgha rasvaha, there is this paribhasha sutram called achaha. Achaha. Immediately we understand that only ach is meant by Panini when we say this. Let me see. This should come in 1.1 itself. This sutram achaha. Let's see, Achashcha, sorry. Achashcha, I think there's 1 to 28. I think Achashcha, 1 to 28. So how do we get Ajantasyangasya? How do we get that? Ajantasyangasya. Because the sutram doesn't say that. It says only, so paribhasha iyam, sthani niyamartha, rasva dirgha plutaha, swasanyaya shishyamana, achaha eva sthani veditavya. So basically this is paribhasha iyam. This is a paribhasha. This is sthani niyamartha. In order to which is the place of the operation. This is sthani. Sthani niyamartha. Rasva dirgha plutaha. Swasanyaya shishyamanaha. When Panini prescribes either rasva dirgha or pluta. Swasanya, with using the word rasva dirgha or pluta. We say when Panini says do ikaraha or do akaraha, that's also dirgha, but that's not, doesn't qualify for this paribhasha. This paribhasha to qualify, you have to have the vidhana being done by the using the term rasva dirgha pluta. Acha eva sthane veditavyaha. So it's only in place of acha. So and so on. So anyway, achashcha is the paribhasha sutram 1 to 28. Right now we are using this sutram 7.4.25. So akrisaraka dirgaha. And then the anuvritti of dirgha must be coming from somewhere prior here. Must be somewhere here. I'm sorry. Sutram itself, not anuvritti. Saksha sutra patitam sutra eva. Sutra eva patitam. So dirgha has been mentioned here. So the word dirgha has been used. So then by this paribhasha, achashcha, only means ajantasyangasya. So that the sthan is only an acha. So atmanaha patimichati patiyati. So same rules, pati plus because see this anuvritti of karmana is coming. So pati plus kyach, supatmanaha kyach. Any new Panini sutram, repeat it please many times. That's the most important thing you can do. Remember the sutram. After that, vritti. After that, the vritti. And then if you can make a Gita connection or some connection that you know. So repeat the sutram many times, repeat the vritti many times, and then if you can make a connection with an example that you know, that will also be useful, preferably in the Gita shloka if you can. Unfortunately here, I don't think this is in the Gita, this is not there I believe, so we cannot do that. So, or make some connection with something else that you know. So pati kyach, same thing, we get the sanadhyanta dhatavaha, and supo dhatu pradipadikiyoho. Remember this sutra because of dhatu sanya here, not pratipadika sanya, because so far we are using this because of pratipadika sanya, samasa pratipadika sanya, but this is a dhatu sanya now, but the same sutra, supo dhatu pradipadikiyoho, supluk, and of course pratyash lukshlu lupaha, the entire pratyam goes away, and then the same thing, lashakvatadite halantyam, and now we get the akrit sarvadhatikayoho dirgaha. And we have seen this in daily examples when we get the passive from the pratyaya yak, which we use in the passive, sarvadhatuke yak, like shruyate. That time that yak is also doesn't have the sanya of krit, doesn't have sanya of sarvadhatukam, because yak is prescribed in 3.167. So you can make this connection with the Gita over here. So like, so that you can find example in the Gita where the pratyaya yak is used, which is this. So patiyati. Again, only prasipadam can be used because of the sheshat kartari parasmipadam. Sheshat kartari parasmipadam. So now this sutram, which is the we have seen this sutram 7.4.28 in daily examples. You're reading like kriyate. I think kriyate comes in Gita. I think we just had it. Let me look at it. I think it's chapter 17. We have a number of kriyates in Gita. Let me take a good Gita example. So the word kriyate. So let's see kriyate. So kriyamanani 3.27. Then comes the another one. I think kriya virkriyamana kriyate. Here it is. Satkaramana pujatam tapodam bhena chaivayat. Kriyate. I think Indu as an example also maybe. Yes, Indu. Yes, Indu, your hand is up. Your mic is not working. I'll keep you unmuted. So kriyate comes in chapter 17. But this sutra, what happens? The pratyaya yak comes. Indu, your hand is up. You have some comment? No. Okay. What happens is that this ring vrita, which you're going to use right now, is overruled by sutram ring sheg lingshu. So these specific sutras, pratyayas sha, yak and lings, azatuka ling, they will take the ring adesha. Angam takes the ring adesha. So unfortunately here in the passive form which are familiar to us like kriyate, riyate, etc., pratyaya will be ring, not ring but ring. So there because that is specifically ordained for the sha, yak and ling. But otherwise, the ring ritaha, which is what we're going to use right now, ring ritaha, is anuvritti same thing, akridyakare, asarvadhatuke yakare, chvauchapare, rudantangasya ringadesha. So anuvritti is coming from down here itself, in the same line. This akrisarvadhaka yoho, anuvritti is coming down, anuvritti of yi is coming down. So if you have a pratyaya which is yakaradi, doesn't have a sanya of skrita sarvadhataka, then if you have rudantam angam ending in rikaraha, it takes the ringadesha. In between the sutram chvaucha also came. This is the sutram of Nagaraji. One day in the Thursday class, I forgot this sutram chvaucha. It reminded me of that one. Yes, I always remember when I forget sutram in the class, I always remember it for a long time. So Nagaraji reminded the sutram. I call this Nagaraji sutram chvaucha. Anyway, so that this chow is coming later in this lesson. Chow is coming, pratyaya chvi is coming. So ring rataha. The same condition we saw akrit sarvadhataka yoho, yakarado pratyaya pare, but this is when the angam is rikarantam now. Rikarantam angam. So only specifically for rikarantam angam, we get the ring adeshaha. So akrit yakare, asarvadhataka yakare, chaucha pare. So this chow came in because the sutram in between was chaucha. The chow came from between there. This one also got stuck in here now. Rudantangasya ringadesha. So we say Atmano netaramichati. Someone wants a leader. Atmano netaramichati. Netriyati. This is wrong. Netriyati becomes netriyati. Atmano netaramichati becomes netriyati. So with the same steps, we take netru plus plus kyach. Supatmanaha kyach, and then do the dhatsanya sanadyanta dhatavaha, and then we get the supo dhatupadvidika yoho pratyas lukshlu lupaha, and now in this case anubandha lopaha shakpatita halantyam with the ringadesha. We also remember anytime you want to do an adesha, you look at the sutram which is alontyasya nicha adef parasya, and then anekachis sarvasya. This adesha ring anubandha lope ri is anekala adesha. Rika, I mean repa ikara anekala adesha. So normally you would have had the anekachis sarvasya would have replaced the entire angam, would have gone away. But we have the sutram Nicha. Nicha, which says that Nit Adesha Anekalapi Antyasya Alastane Bhavati. So Nicha. So normally you have had first stop would be Alontyasya, but then Anekashis Sarvasya Apavada for that is Nicha. That's why Panini has the Anubandha, Nakar Anubandha in the Adesha ring. It becomes Netriya. Netriyati, Atmano Netaramichati, Netriyati. Instead of getting the Akrit Sarvatikayo Dirgaha, we get Ringrataha. Ringrataha comes here. So, sorry, 1153. 1153, Nicha. Okay, that's what here in the book. The book he says that the stems in the final R. This is a typo here. Ringrataha. Look at the vritti of that. Ringrataha is that Ridantasya. So I think there's a typo in the book. I think make it the Rasva Rikaraha. Looks like a Dirgha in the book over here. Should be Rasva Rikaraha. This is like a typo. Riya Netaramichati. I can put Atmana over here. Atmano Netaramichati Netriyati Ringrataha. Instead of getting the Dirgha Adesha, we got the Ringa Adesha Nicha. Okay, now comes the last one, which is the Angam ending in An, like Atmanaha, Atmano Rajanam Ichchati. Someone wants a king for himself. Someone wants a king. Rajiyati. Let's see what happens in this case. This case, when you say Rajiyati, let's follow the steps. It says Atmano Rajanam Ichchati Rajiyati. Same thing, we get Rajan plus plus Kyach. Usual step, dhatu sanyasa radyanta dhatavaha, supo dhatu pradipadakeyoho supluk, pratyas lukshlu lupaha, then we get anubandha lopaha, lashakutaditi halantyam, we got Rajan plus ya. Now what happened is that Rajan took the pratyaya and the took a look by supo dhatu pradipadakeyoho, but pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam suptingantam padam. Pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam suptingantam padam. When you do look, shlu or lup, still the pratyaya lakshanam is still there. Only thing is nalumata angasya. Only an anga karyam could not be done based on the look, pratyaya which took look, shlu or lup. Let's get this concept clear over here. Is that pratyaya look, shlu, lupaha, and pratyaya lope, pratyaya lakshanam nalumata angasya. Only anga karyam is stopped. You cannot use pratyaya lakshanam after look, shlu or lup is done and start doing anga karyam. But the pada sanya is only a sanya. The sanya we can get based on the pratyaya which took look, shlu or lup. So pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam suptingantam padam. You can definitely use that to get the pada sanya. But now comes the complication which I just referred to earlier in the class, which is the niyama sutram on suptingantam padam, which is nashkye. Is that, let's look at the sutram. What is niyamaha? What does sutram say? It says that Kyachi kyangi cha nantam eva padam nanyat. The pratyaya kyach or kyang follows. Right now we have kyach. Then only nakarantam will get the padasanya, not anything else. Now padasanya was already available by suptingantam padam. So why do we need this sutram? So siddhe satya arambho niyamartha. When something has already been accomplished, been prescribed already by some other sutram, when Panini prescribes it again, it is a niyamartha. It's a restrictive rule. So basically it restricts the padasanya. When the pratyaya kyach or kyang follows, then only a nakarantam will get the padasanya. Others will not. So the charitartha, the usefulness of this rule will be nanyasya. So nanyat. So Nantema padam sa nanyat. So this is the use of the sutram. Any niyama sutram is for restrictive purposes. Means this is not to prescribe the padasanya. Already is available by suptingantam padam. But this is to exclude anything which is not nakarantam. Will not get the padasanya if the pratyaya kyach or kyang follows. So that is the usefulness of this rule. Any niyama sutram is not for vidhanam, but it's for niyamartham, for excluding something. So this one say, but right now we are fine because we have the Rajan. Rajan will get the angas with the padasanya because nashya will not stop it. because we have a nakarantam, we have Rajan over here, so Rajan plus here, so Rajan does get the padasanya. So supting suspatya vipatya lakshanam supting and the padam niyamaha nyashke does not affect it here. So we have Rajan ending in a nakara. And then what happens when the padasanya comes? No lopaha prajapadikantasya, no lopaha. So we get the I'm sorry, this should be nakar should be gone over here. So we get Raja plus here. Raja plus here. So one more time. Rajan to the pratyaya because karmanaha anuvritti is coming down. So this is the dvitiya ekavachanam. Then we got the dhatu sanya. Then we got the suplok. But pratyaya love pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. The niyama nyahketi niyamaha. Atsana pravartate. Niyama will not have any effect here. So we get nalopa prajapadikantasya Raja plus here. Now this sutram 827 is tripadi karyam, so purvatra siddham, but again we have a niyama here. The purvatra siddham is limited by 822, which you have seen daily examples many times. I hope you have followed that. In the daily examples we have, like when we say, let me see here, okay. This sutram is 822, which is na lopaha supsarasanya tugvidishukriti. We say word like yogindraha. Yogin plus indraha becomes yogindraha. In a samasaha, that yogin got the padasanya, same thing there. That yogin will get the na lopa prajapadikantasya. But that when we do akasame dirgha between yogi and yogin indraha, we have to make yogindraha. They will because this na lopaha is asiddha only for these operations. Sup swara sanyatug vidishukriti. Right now we want to do the yikara adesha by kishcha. Yikara adesha. So we are not looking at any sup vidhi over here, not a swara vidhi, not a sanya vidhi, and not the tuk agamaha kriti either. So this na lopa is limited, the asiddhattam of na lopaha is limited only to these four situations. When you have to do any operation based on a sup pratyaya, any swara vidhanam, that's only for Vedic anyway, the sanya vidhanam or the tuk agamaha based on the for a krut pratyaya. So all that is not coming here. When we are not doing any sup karyam, we are not doing any sup vidhi, not swara vidhi, not sanya vidhi, and not tuk vidhanam either. So for us, this purvatra siddham is now bypassed, because this 822 limited the effectiveness of purvatra siddham in the case of nalopaha only for these four cases, which is not one of the cases that we have right now. So this nalopa becomes siddha. So in the eyes of 7433, this nalopaha is seen by 7433 because the niyama sutram is nalopaha supsasanya tukvidishukriti, which you see in daily examples of quite a few times now. So kyachicha can apply to the ikara desha alontyasya becomes rajiyati. So atmano rajanamichati rajiyati. So Siddhanta Kaumudi says no lopaha rajiyati. It's rajiyati. Okay, that's the four steps. Again, we got the padasanya. Nashkya could not limit it because we have nakarantam, rajan here. Then we got nakar lopaha by null for prajapadikantasya, and because the niyama sutram nalopaha supsarasanya tugvidishukriti, that nalopa becomes siddha for this sutram kyachicha, and we got the ikara deshaha alontyasya. Okay, but now to look at the usefulness of this rule, nyashkye, this niyamaha didn't affect us here, but it's not in the book, but I want to give a couple of examples. Atmanaha tapa ichhati, one who wants austerity for himself, tapaha, then become tapasyati. See here, we go into all these same steps. We go tapas plus plus sketch, go to the same steps. You get tapas plus ya. Now we should have had pratyaya lakshanam suptingantam padam. We do have that, but then the suptingantam padam is niyamitam. It's limited now. This is sakarantam, it's not nakarantam. So this tapas will not get the padasanya, because nashkye, nantam eva, padam syat, nanyat. So this is the sakarantam. So even though we have pratyaya lakshanam, we should have had suptingantam padam, but this word, this tapas will not get padasanya because of the niyamasutam nashkye. I hope you're following this, is that this suptingantam padam would have come because of we had a subantam, even though the look took place pratyalopipatti lakshanam, but nashke says that only if it's nakarantam, as if the pratyaya kyach or kyang follows, then only nakarantam gets the padasanya, tapasvi not get padasanya. So we cannot do sasaju ruhu, that does not come. So we get the tapasyati. Doesn't become like something like tapoyati, becomes tapasyati. Same thing, atmano vacham ichchati, one who wants speech for himself, one who wants speech, atmano vacham, it become vachyati. You don't get the chohokuhu. Here also this vach is chakarantam. So because of nashye, the niyama sutram, vach will not get the padasanya. So we don't get chohokuhu. It doesn't become vakyati, becomes vachyati only, vachyati. Again, these are not in the book, but this Niyama Sutram is important. So even though, I mean, for the book we don't need, because book only has this Rajanam, so this one is easy. But if it's nothing, if it's not Nakarantam, then the Niyama will come into place. We'll not get the Padasanya. So this is the Pratyakyach. Now, one more meaning is given. The Pratyakyach also conveys the idea of treating like. That's why they say in the beginning, Antoine said that usually idea of personal desire, but there's another sutram here which says that also gets me treating like. So shishyan putra niva acharati. So teacher treats his students like his own sons. He treats the pupil like the sons. Shishyan putriyati. Putriyati. The prakriya will be the same. Putriyati. His form will be derived the same way. So no difference. Only this is the arthantaram. It's a different meaning. This is different meaning is being given here. The same pratyakyach, you go through the same steps deriving the forms, but the meaning is different now. This meaning is different. So what is the meaning here? Now let's look at the sutram here. We should look at the here it is something here we can look at. We were looking 318 before. Now we're going to use this sutram upamadadachare. Upamadadachare. Let's look at the vritti of this sutram upamadadachare. It says that Upamanat karmanaha is the object of something, object of treating something, treating some object. Upamanat. So that object should be like a simile. See, somebody likes something, that likes something. That is the upamanam. Upamanam. Upamiyate anyaneti upamanam. Something which is, by which a comparison can be made. Comparison. Upamanat karmanaha. I think we can put a space here. Upamanat karmanaha. Subantad acharyarthe kyach vasyat. So acharyarthe, you treat somebody like something else. So then kyach pratyakam, again vasyat. So pakshe vakyam api will come also, vakyam also can be had. So we have to have a subantam, which is a upamanam. Upamanam. So in this case we say shishyan putra niva acharati. So putriyati shishyan. So he treats his students like his sons. So that the object of treating is the students, but the object is being compared to this, some comparison being made to a son. Upamanat karmanaha. So the object is now being compared to the sons. Subantad acharyarthe kyach. So putram iva acharati putriyati chatram. So the steps are the same for putriyati, which we saw. So again here kyachicha to the ikara adesha. Then Vishnu miva acharati vishnuyati dvijam. So he treats the priest like as if he's Vishnu himself. So vishnuyati again. So here, put the numbers here. Here we have used, again I took the same sutra, we have used kyachicha to do the ikara adesha. Vishnuyati dvijam, we have used the akrit sarvadhartakayoho dirgaha. So Vishnuyati dvijam, he treats the priest as if he is Vishnu himself. Then matram iva acharati parakalatram, he treats another person's wife like his own mother. So matram iva acharati matriyati parakalatram. Matriyati parakalatram. So matriyati, here we have used the ringrataha, which we just saw. The same, the steps are the same that we saw over here. When we saw this one, netriyati, same thing in matriyati, but the meaning is different. This is acharyarthe. He treats someone else's wife like his own mother. So matram iva acharati matriyati parakalatram. Here another one. Shivam iva acharati Shiviyati Vishnum. He treats Lord Vishnu like his Lord Shiva. So Shivam iva acharati Shiviyati Vishnum. This is the same sutram here. Shiviyati. This 7433. Again, these forms are not very common in the language. They're nice forms, but I've not really seen this that commonly used. I think in Gita this is not there at all. So anyway, so Upamanad Achare 3110. Upamanat karmanaha subantad acharyarte kyach vasyat. So when you treat something like something else, that comparison is being made in treating, then that, so following that upamanat, that word of comparison, from that you get this pratyaya kyach in the sense of acharya. So shivameva acharati shiviyati vishnum. Okay. Now there is a this is not in the book. There's a vartikam over here. It says adhikarana chiti vaktavyam. So this is only, karmanaha. You treat something like something else, the object of treating. Adhikarana chiti vaktavyam is prasade eva acharati prasadiyati kutyam bhikshu. Sannyasi bhikshu. Swamiji. He says that prasade eva acharati kutyam. In his hut, he treats it like he's in a palace. Bhikshu. So sannyasi, he's in a small hut, but he lives there like he's in a palace. So prasade iva, not prasadam, but prasade iva. So in a hut, he acts like he's in a palace. Says the same for him. So prasade iva acharati prasadiyati kutyam bhikshu. So this is not in the book, but anyway, sometimes you see adhikarana cheti vaktavyam, na kevalam karmanaha. So not following a karma only, but it can also be adhikarana vachi shabdaha, which you have prasade iva acharati prasadiyati kutyam bhikshu. So it's a good example I thought to give. Anyway, this is not in the book, this is the vartikam. So he behaves in the place like as if he were some other place. Okay. Now we are going to the next page. The next page is pratyaya kyach was given. Yes, Vasma.
Yeah, there's one more thing. Kyachi manta abhye pratisheto vaktavyaha. There's exception mentioned.
Which sutram are you looking at?
Kashika.
Okay, which sutram number?
Swapatmana kyache.
Okay. Swapatmana kyach.
मकारांश और अव्यय शब्दों में क्यच प्रत्यय नहीं होता.
Okay, the exception is it? Okay, let me see. I didn't. Okay, supapanaha kyach is mantavya pratisheta vakta idam icchati uchcherichati nicherichati. Okay, there's a vartikam here which is okay. I was not aware of that. So there is a vartikam on 318 which we just saw, which is supatmanaha kyach. There is a vartikam on that, which is the kyachi mantavyaya pratisheta vaktavyaha. If you have a makarantam rajabadikam, or if you have an avyayam, then following that pratyaya kyach will not come. So idamichati will not get the pratyaya kyach. Uchcherichati nicherichati is the typo here. Okay, thank you. I was not aware. So if you have makarantam or an avyayam, pratyaya kyach will not come in those cases. Okay, so next we look at the pratyaya sutram kamyach. We already saw these two rules today. We saw the pratyaya supatmanaha kyach. We saw upamanad acharya. We saw that. So in between that, the pratyaya kamyach. So this other vritti is coming down from the same prior rules. Similar vrittis come is ishikarmanaha. Yeshituhu sambandhinaha. So same things that we had over here, all these same things, These ones only. So same, almost similar vritti that we had for kyach. We have the same thing, that it should be an object of desiring for oneself. So ishikarmanaha, yeshituhu karmanaha. So that is the same on the vrittis coming down for the pratyaya kamyach also. In fact, before the pratyaya kyach, pratyaya now is kamyach. The only difference is that. Otherwise the same meaning is the same. Samanarthe. The same meaning. So ishikarmanaha eshituhu sambandhinaha subantad ichcha. So this is the same. Yatha purvam. Ichchayam arte. Only thing is kamyach. Pratyo vasyat means pakshe vakyamapi. So vakyam. So ishikarmanaha eshatuhu sambandhinaha. When someone desires something for himself or herself, subantat, ichchayamarte kamyesh pratyavasyat. So kamyesh is straightforward. And here one only thing is that the kamyesh, the kakarasya itsanya nasti prajana bhavat itsanya na bhavati. This kamyesh, chakar is in it by halantyam. But the kakar should have been in it by lashakva tadyate, because tadyate only starts from 4176. This is atadita pratyaya. So they should have had itsanya by lashakva tadyate, but prajana bhavat itsanya na bhavati. This kakara, there is no provision for making this curry. I reminded you already that if you're thinking of kiniticha, it doesn't apply here. Kiniticha only stops the gunavriddhi, which normally comes by the savadhatu, karnataka yoga and all that. All dhatoho, dhatoho. This is not, this pratyaya kam, which is neither savadhatukam nor ardhatukam. It's not dhatu iti vihita. So we don't have that. So projanam nasti, projana bhavat issanyana bhavati kakarasya. Otherwise, in terms of operations, this is not any, none of these rules which you saw earlier are going to apply here. It's going to be very straightforward prakriya over here, because in this case of kyach, we had these rules, angakaryam we had to look at, which is the akrisarvataka yoga dirgaha, we had the ring rataha, then we had the kyachicha. Those are not going to come here, because this is not a yakali pratyaya at all. It's also not pratyaya, kyach. So we do the prakriya very straightforward. We say atmanaha putram ichchati, same thing, putra kamyati. Putra kamyati. So putra plus kamyach, sutram kamyach, and then putra kamya comes in Gita, hita kamyaya. I think chapter 10 it comes, I think. So the pratyaya is this kamyach is used in the Gita. It is not even tingantam padam, I don't think, but in chapter 10, hita kamyaya. Hita kamya is made a strilinga nama shabdaha, hita kamya, basically hitechaya. So bhuya eva mahabaho shuname paramam vachaha yatteham priyamanaya vakshyami hita kamya. I shall tell you this thing in order to benefit. So this is hita kamyaya. Hita kamyaya. So now, yes, so kamya is used in Gita. Now what's happening in the Gita is not today's topic, but how do we form this feminine noun hita kamya? Okay, hita kamya, we can get a dhatu sanya, vasanadyanta dhatavaha, but then we want to form a silinga pratipadikam hita kamya. So in silinga pratipadikam means, look at the, this is not today's topic, but anyway, I want to finish out the Gita form for you. Istriyam hitin, but then their pronoun is apratyayat. Pratyayanta dhatu, basically sanadyanta dhatu. If you have a derived dhatu, sadhita dhatu, then you have pratyaya a has to be used. Pratyaya a has to be used to form a feminine noun. Now, of course, you get the pratyaya tap on top of that ajadyata stap. So you get hita kamya as a akaranta stilinga pratipadikam by using apratyayata. So kamya is used in the Gita, but I don't think it's in the Tingantam Padam, but at least it is used in Gita. So maybe you can make the Gita connection. Chapter 10, when you chant chapter 10, very first lokaha, bhuya evam mahabaho, shuname paramam vachaha, yatteham priyamanaya, vakshami hita kamyaya. So here it becomes, so kamyacha sutram. Anyway, atmanaha putram ichchati is putra kamyati. So there's nothing special here, putra plus same steps as before. You get the dhatu sanya sanadyanta, dhatavaha supluk supo dhatu pratipadika yoho, and now comes the halantyam, and in this case we don't have kyachicha because pratyaya is kamyach, not kyach. There's no ikaradesha na bhavati. So then usual thing are the pratyaya vartamane lat anubandha lopaha la tipta ji anubandha lopa ti. This is nothing very straightforward. Kartari shap anubandha lopa akaraha lashakvatita halantyam. Finally atogune putra kamyati. So this is very easy. Angakaryam nastita. There is no angakaryam to be done. Putra kamyati. So now we got three ways. We got putriyati, using supaatmanaha kyach. Putra kamyati, which is the kamyacha. Then atmanaha putra michhati vakyam api sambhavati. So we got so trivir prakaraihi. So we can express the same meaning in three ways. Putriyati, by the Sutram Supa Atmanaha Kyach. Meaning of all of these is the same. Atmanaha Putra Michati. Putra Kamyati Kamyach and Pakshe Vakyam Atmanaha Putra Michati. These three. Now, okay, let's look at this example. Now, Atmanaha Yasha Ichati. Yashas Pratipadikam. What happens here now? Yashas plus the same, these steps are the same. Kamyach, Dhatu Sanya, Sanadhyanta Dhatavaha, Supo Dhatu Pratipadikayoho, Halantyam is Sanya, Yashas Kamya. Now, okay, now Pratyaya Lope Pratyaya Lakshanam, Suptingantam Padam. Remember the Niyama Sutram which was Nashkye was only for Kye, only when the Pratyaya was Kyach or Kyam. That Niyama will not apply here, because that Nashkye was only Kyachi Kyangi Chapare. This is a Pratyaya Kamyach. So Supting Antam Padam will be Nirbadham, the Sutram cannot be stopped. This Nirbhada Padasanya, Nirbadha, which cannot be stopped, Padasanya. So we get Yashas gets the Padasanya by Pratyalava Pratyakshanam Suptingantam Padam, Sasajusho Ruho. Then Karavas, and then of course Upadeshadana Nasika It, and Karavasana Visarjaniya Yashaha Kamya. Normally we should have had this sutram. We have the Jivva Mulya should have come. Jivva Mulya by Kupvoha Kafpaucha. Kupvoha Kafpaucha. But there is sutram Sopadadau. Very important sutram which I tend to forget sometimes. This is the important sutram. It says if it's Apadadi Kavarga or Pavargaha. So if it's Apadadi Kavargaha Pavargaha. So Kupvoho, but it is Apadadau. Instead of the Visarga getting this Jivva Mulya or Pakshe Visarjaniya Adesha, it takes the Sakara Adesha. Let's look at 8338. This is Sopadadau. So the moment you think of the Sutram Kupvoha Kafpaucha, think of the Anantaram Sutram which is Sopadadau. It says that Sakara Adesho Bhavati Visarjaniyasya. So Visarjana takes the Sakara Adesha, not Jivva Mulya or Padmani. In this case, it would have been Jivva Mulya. Kupvoho Apadadyoho Parataha. It should be Kavarga, Pavarga form. It should be Apadadi. Now the thing is that Padasanya right now is for the Yashas only, not for the Kamyach. Suptinganda Padam is over here. This one is Padasanya. Not this one is no Padasanya. So Apadadi Kakaraha Vartate. So when we have that, instead of getting the instead of getting the Jivva Mulya Adesha or the Visarjaniya Adesha, we get the Sakara Adesha. And this situation only occurs in the following pratyas follow. Pasha Kalpa Ka Kamyeshu. So in grammar, to have Apadadi Kavargaha or Pavargaha. And remember the fact that we already applied the Karavasana or Visarjaniya, it has to be only Ka, Ka, Pa, Pa. Because we know the kar is following. Otherwise, Visarga Adesha eva nasyat. Visarga Adesha eva nasyat. Without having a kar, we cannot apply the Karavasana yor Visarjaniyaha. So even though it says Kupvoho, it means Kakare, Kakare, Pakare, Pakare Chaparataha. So, and there are only these four pratyas which give the situation. Is the Pasha, Kalpa, Ka and Kamya. So, they say atapaskaha, one who has no tapas, atapaskaha. So there is pratyaka. When we do Bahuvari compound, we'll come back to, when we do Bahuvari, we'll come back to this. When we do Bahuvari compound, we're going to come back to this sutram. Because there we'll have the pratyaka coming in the pratyaya, in the samasanta. I'm not to digress too much, but we have the samasanta pratyaha kap. Urasprabhuti Vyudoraska. How about that one? I think in the Vishnu Sasana, Vishnu Ashtottaram, I think this Vyudoraskaya Namaha. Somewhere there, a very similar word is coming there. Vyudoraska. Vyudoraska means one has a broad chest. broad chest, vyudha, like well-arrayed chest. So vyudo raskaha. So uras is chest, uraskaha it became. It didn't become urakaha, uraskaha. Because the pratyaya ka is being a bahuri compound. Very compound. So we will use in bahuri compound with pratyaya and this samasanta pratyaya kap what we do. Then also we will use this sutram. But right now we have the pratyaya kamyach. So the pasha kalpa ka kamyeshu. Only these four give this situation where you have apadadi, kar, belonging to the ka varga or pa varga, following a visarga. So only these four pratyaya. So in fact, the sutram in Siddhanta Kaumadi, pasha kalpa ka kamyeshu visajaniyasya saha. So make it very simple sutram. Vritti I should say. Pasha kalpa ka kamyeshu visajaniyasya saha. So yes, we got the padasanya, we got Sisajashoruho, we got the Karavasanayor Visajaniyaha, but we didn't get the Kupoha Kafpaucha, we got the Sakara Desha, because Sopadado, Sutram, important Sutram Sopadado. Sometimes we tend to forget this Sutram, but right after Kupoho comes Sopadado, right after Kupoho, Sopadado. Should be Apadadi Kavarga Pavarga. And the visarga will become the sakara desha. So yashas kamyati. But in this case also, because the kamya, there is no nimittam for atmani padam. The only parasyapadam only will come over here. By sheshat kartari parasyapadam, only parasyapadam will be used. So yashas kamyati. So padadau sakara desha bhavati visarjaniyasya kupvora padadyoh parataha pasha kalpa ka kamyeshu. And we will come back to this sutram, we do Bahuvari compounds, and we do this pratyaya kap, we'll use that. Right now we have kamyach, of course. So now comes the next part in this lesson. We have about 15 minutes left. Okay. So now comes the next part, which is the pratyaya kvip. This is a vartikam. Pratyaya kvip is a vartikam. The verbal base is formed directly. Directly means pratipadika deva. Natu subantat. So this vartikam is called the pratyaya kvip directly after a pratipadikam itself. We don't have to wait to form subantam. No need to do this supodharpadikayo anymore in this pratyaya kvip, because this is pratipadika vidhanam from pratipadikam itself. So we don't have to do that. Of course, we're still going to get the dhatu sanya by sanadyanta dhatavaha, but no need for the supodharpadikayo. In this case, we're using from the pratipadikam itself. The idea of acting like, so resulting verb is conjugated. Again, the same thing because of the sheshat kartari parasyapadam. So let's look at this vartikam. What is vartikam says? Vartikam says sarva pratipadikebhya. So pratipadikad vidhanam. Natu subantat. Kyupva vaktavyaha. So this vartikam comes under 3.1.11, not under 3.1.8 or 9 or 10. This padam comes under 3.1.11, which is the kartuhu kyang salopascha. So let's look at 3.1.11. In fact, in this book, is coming in the next point in the book, which is this pratyaya kyang. So this vartikam of kvip is under this sutram, which is 3.1.11, which you're going to see later in the next point in the book, point number 4. In the book, he has taken the vartikam first and the sutram anantaram afterwards. So let's look at the sutram for a second before we tackle the vartikam, because the vartikam always has the same topic as the sutram. When Patanjali perceives, every vartikam generally has its base in the Mahabhashyam. Mahabhashyam has lot of vartikani, bahoni vartikani. The Kashika and Kaumudi only take the ones which are the important ones, because Bhashyam has many lot of them. So in every Bhashyam, when you have Vartikam, you have to remember that is the Vishaya, is the same Vishaya as the Sutrasya Vishaya. So the Sutram is Kartuhu Kyang Salopascha. Upamanat Kartuhu. So it should be a doer. But there is a comparison being made. Somebody is acting like somebody else. Before we had somebody treating someone like something else. No. This person himself is acting like someone else. Upamanat kartuhu. Karturvachakat. So the pradipadikam, which is the doer, the kartru, it's the upamanam. acting like somebody. Not treating like somebody, but acting yourself like somebody. Upamana kartuhu subantad achare. Achare kyang vasyat. So this, because the prior sutram was the upamana, the acharya, first karmana was coming down here. So karmana came down here, it came to upamana, the acharya. But now kartu is coming here. Someone is not treating somebody else, but he's behaving himself like somebody else. Kartu kyang, and then salopascha is a different thing over here. So one more thing, 3.1.11 says kartuhu kyang salopascha, upamanat kartuhu, but kartuhu, compared to what we had before, when we did the pratyaya, here we had the upamanat karmanaha. So highlight this one, upamanat karmanaha we had before. We had the pratyaya kyach, after upamanat karmanaha. So putramiva acharati putriyati chatram. He treats the student like his own son. But now what is happening is that upamanat kartuhu. So he is behaving himself like somebody else. So this is the Sutram 3.1.11. Upamanat kartuhu. So we highlight this fellow here, highlight this one here. Upamanat, okay, let me highlight this one. Upamanat kartuhu. Subantad, rest of it is the same. Is that we have the achare kyang vasya. If we had kyang, then we had kyang. The sutram says kyang, but this upamanat is the same. Subantad is the samanam. Achare and vasyat. Puravat. Pratyaya here is kyang, and this is kartu. This is important sutram, by the way. This sutram, I don't think in Gita example I cannot think about. I know the examples in Bhagavatam, etc. We have example of this sutram. This is an important sutram compared to the one that we had before. This one is an important sutram because there are, I know examples of this that I can at least think of the top of my head. So one example comes in the famous Gopi Gitam of the Bhagavatam. When the gopis could not see Krishna, they said, Tritir Yugayate. Even one split second behaves like a whole yuga. When we cannot see Krishna, this split second becomes so long for us. Tritir Yugayate. So Yugayate. So Yuga eva acharati triti. Triti means like a split second. It Yugayate. So this is in the Gopi Gitam. This is chapter 31 of the 10th skanda of the Bhagavatam. So anyway, these forms are seen when someone acts like somebody else. So the second behaves like a whole yuga. When the gopis do not see Krishna, for them 1 second is like a whole yuga. It's too long for them without Krishna. So this is in the Gopi Gitam. So let's look at this murti. Upamanat kartuhu subantad acharya kyang vasyat. So this pratyaya kyang comes optionally. Upamanat but kartuhu, from the comparison word, but which is in the sense of the doer himself, in the sense of acting like that. And then there's a second part. We'll come back to this for in the time being. So this is the Vartikam. We'll leave this. We'll come back to this. For the Vartikam, we don't need the second part. So the Vartikam is under this sutra. Upamanat kartuhu subantad acharya. So instead of with the pratyaya kyang, then the Vartikakara says that quip can also be used. So now what do we have now? So now if you look at the Vartikam in that context, before you tackle any Vartikam, look at the sutram under which the Vartikam comes. So it says here, now we can look at it, is that Sarva Pratipadikebhya Kvibva Vaktavyaha. So any Pratipadikam can take this pratyaya quip, again the same meaning, Upamana Kartuho, Acharya, Subantad Acharya. But this is after Pratipadikam. Not of Subantat, is of her Pradipadikat. So any Pradipadikam, their pratyaya quip, when someone acts like somebody else, is Upamanad Kartuhu. So this is Upamanam. So it says, this comes directly after Pradipadikum, so you don't have to worry about this subluk over here. So it says, Krishna iva acharati krishnati nataha. So an actor behaves like he's Krishna himself. So Krishna iva acharati krishnati nataha. So no need for bringing the Krishna plus su, because this is Vidhanam is from Pratipadikam itself. So just Krishna plus quip. So kartuhu kyang salopascha. Then Sarva Pratipadikebhya kvipva vaktavyaha. So the same Upamanat kartuhu acharya. So rather than kyang, quip is being prescribed directly after Pratipadikam from any Pratipadikam. And this, so now what we get is that, then we don't have this salopascha. So salopascha only when the pratyaya kyang is being given. So steps are very simple here. We just get the sarvapahar lopaha for quip, halantyam, upadeshana nasika, ajana nasika, it dashakvatadite, verapruktasya. When the vakara of the V remains alone, verapruktasya, aprukta ekar pratyaya, it also takes lopaha. Virapruktasya. Sarvapahar lopaha, we get Krishna. Now what has happened is that the Krishna was a pratipadikam. This is what I meant. Dhatu Krish is to attract, one who attracts, one of the meaning of Krishna. From that we got the pratipadikam Krishna. Then we turn it around, the pratyaya quip made back into a dhatu. So now we have a dhatu Krishna. Sanadyanta dhatavaha. Dhatabaha. One more thing, by the way, that I want to mention is that this quip pratyaya does not have the sanya of ardhadhatukam. Interesting thing by this, important point. The same pratyaya quip, which of course with the famous sutram here is 3276, quipcha sutram. But this same pratyaya quip has a sanya of ardhadhatukam when it comes in the dhatoho adhikaraha. The same pratyaya quip means samanakaraha, the same of the same form. When I say same means there is the same letters in that quip. Anyway, they all are 8 letters anyway. They all go away. But of the pratyaya of the same form, quip and quip. But one of this pratyaya quip, which is atra vihitaha, dhatu adhikare vihitaha, tasya ardhatuka sanya bhavati, tasya ardhadhatuka sanya bhavati. But now when you're prescribing the pratyaya quip in this sutram which we have right now, in the Vartikam actually, under the kartuho kyang salopascha, this is not after dhatu. So this will get a sanya of neither sarvadhatukam nor ardhadhatukam nor krut pratyaya. Krut thing only comes afterwards. So that pratyaya quip will get a sanya of krut thing, krut pratyaya and ardhadhatukam. But the same of this pratyaya of the same form, quip, does not get the sanya over here. Now why is it important? Because you know this sutra ato lopaha ardhadhatuke. If you're thinking about that, when you have akarantam mangam followed by a pratyaya which is sanya of ardhadhatukam, then akara, this will not apply here because it is not in the dhatu adhikara. In fact, the pratyaya nich which we have been seeing, by the way, the pratyaya nich we have used extensively when we did the causative forms by 3126, is the same pratyaya nich. I mean, when I say same, I mean pratyaya nich of the same form, nich, also comes in this adhikara here by 3121. Maybe if you have time, we might, this is not in the book I think, but we might see this. So again the nich which is coming in 3121 does not have the sanya of ardhadhatukam. That is not in the dhatu, start from 3122. So you have to be careful about this. The pratyaya has to be dhatoho iti vihitaha to get the sanya of sarvadhatukam, I think she's sarvatukam, or ardhatukam shesha. So just because the pratyaya is quip or the pratyaya is nich doesn't mean automatically it gets the sanya of ardhadhatukam. It does not, because the nich of 3121 does not get sanya of ardhadhatukam, even though the nich coming later gets sanya of ardhadhatukam. Same thing, the pratyaya quip by the Vartikam under which we have right now, 3111 does not get a sanya of ardhadhatukam or krut sanya because it is not in that adhikara. So this sutram ato lopaha ardhadhatuke does not come over here. It's only ardhadhatuke. So Krishna gets a dhatu sanya with sanadyanta dhatavaha, and then we get the same thing, Krishna plus lat. I mean, there's nothing special here. Anubandha lopaha tip pratyaha itascha, then kartari shap anubandha lopaha ato gune krishnati. So Krishna eva acharati krishnati. Now okay, time is up. Okay, we'll revise this next time again. This one, we have only 2 minutes left here. Let me just, we'll do this again in the next class. He says, Kavi hiva acharati kavayati. Kavayati. Because what happens is that we follow the same, we'll do it in the next class again, we'll revise this next time, is that here we get the same thing. The Kavi gets the, someone acts like a poet. So he gets the dhatu sanyasanadanta dhatavaha. But then what happens when the shap comes? The shap can do the guna ade, because shap has sanya of sarvadhatukam. That will not be lost. Angam is kavi now. Dhatu is kavi. So we'll get the ikara guna adesha by sarvadhatuka ardhakayoho based on the shap pratyaya becomes kavayati. Kavayati. Similarly become pitarati. Because pita ivacharati becomes pitarati. Because again the shap can do the guna adesha. Because shap has sanya, because shap is still kartari shap from 3168. That is sanya sarvadhatukam. So we can get the sanya of we can do sarvadhatuka ardhakayoho gunaha. Okay, so we'll look at these three. So and then for next class we'll pick up from here. We'll pick up from kavirava acharati kavayati pitarati. Also rule 6415. This is a copyright by Anuji on this sutra by 6415. Anunasika sikvijjaloho. Because Anuji has a on this entire adhikara, she has a copyright. So we have to pay a duty over there. Anunasika sikvijjaloho. This is the dirgha vidhanam. So we'll see in the next class when you do this, if you want to practice, do the form Rajanati. The form Rajanati for homework, we have to use sutram Anunasikantasya upadhaya dirgha bhavati. Kvau jalado chakkiniti. So we become Rajanati. So practice for homework 6415. And then we'll go on to this sutram which we just discussed in today's class. We'll do it in detail in the next class, which is the Pratyakyang, which is an important sutram. I give the example from the Bhagavatam, Yugayate. So Kako na Gurudayate. You know, crow can never act like an eagle. Kako na Gurudayate. No matter where he sits. So this is a Subhashitam for that. So this is an important sutram which this is 3.1.11. 3.1.11 for next class for homework. 3.1.11 the Pratyakyang. This is Kartuhukyam. That is someone here. But here because of Nyit, Anudata, Nyita, Atmanipadam will take Atmanipadam. So Yugayate, Gorudayate, Tarunayate, Sakhiyate, all that. And we'll look at these sutrams here. Again the same thing. 7.4.27, 7.4.25. Again the Pratyakyang will be Yakaradi. So same thing which we had for the kyach, again repeat here, except the kyachicha will not come over here. No kyachicha. Otherwise, akrisarvatakayoho dirgaha, ring ritaha will come. And then we look at this 633637 for homework, 633637, 633637. When the kyang has some special rules, these two rules, 633637. The next page. This last sutrams is basically 3.1.16, 17, 18 with the Vartikani. 3.1.16, 17, 18 should cover all of these in this point. 3.1.16, 17, 18. And 196 point is sutra number 5470 with this sutram which we saw today, Asya 12. So 5450 with 7432 Angakaryam, 7432 Angakaryam, Asya 12. Okay, let's stop with that then. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Vihata Nishachar Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Paranam Parataram Rama Sada Sosmyaham Rame Chittale Sada Bhautame Vorama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana